Ah, hmm, Oh, that's better. Look, why does this always happen to my neck? It's like I don't scratch. I don't know what has gone on here with my fat. Everything else is relatively okay. I mean, I've looked better to be sure, but this is a redness of the neck. I don't know. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the program. Sorry, I'm checking spaces. Nobody's in there. It doesn't matter. It is Sunday. I am me. You are you. We will be making coffee here in my underwear. If you're in yours, good for you. You could be in pants. You could be in slacks, pantaloons, slacks. It just has a gross word. I know everyone. Oh, moist. Ugh, I hate moist. Slacks is gross, but more than that, pamphlet and brochure. So if I am in the tourist section of a city rest stop, a state rest stop, I'm really beside myself. I call them flyers, I guess, out of necessity. Let's take a look at these. Let me get the light. One moment. There's a hip deer pattern you can see there. I guess they're reindeer, or is that just a Christmas? No, maybe they're just deer or elk. Well, I don't think they're antelope. And there's other ones. There's other horned horse-like creatures that are out there that we haven't cracked, that I'm not familiar with. They haven't really reached the mainstream. Almost like, you remember, like, can someone explain kale? Like, no one was talking about kale for decades. I mean, kale has been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. No one was touching this shit. Then it just broke through. It was like, hey, guys, here's a hip new lettuce. You got to try it. And now, I mean, every salad, every menu has a kale option. Good for kale. Whoever was kale's agent, bless you. Look at this. Warrior Wrestling is in spaces. I wrestled for them before on one of their earlier shows, David and I. And we did battle with, I believe, Frank the Clown. And they're sweet and delightful, and they run big hip shows. And maybe, they sent a love thing. Maybe they will book me again so I could disappoint people by myself, since David is completely retired. But go follow them and watch all their hip business. I wonder if they serve kale. They should have salad there should be a food stand there. That's my next cause I'm taking up. Tom says, good morning, everyone. Holy shit, Arn Anderson is hilarious. RJ is as well, I guess, but I have no qualms about saying I was not ready for Arn Anderson. He is today's guest on Hey EW. He came in, he shook my hand, he sat down, and he was absolutely insane. I've never seen an interview of his like this in my life, so please do yourself a favor and watch it. It's pinned in the comments, it's in the caption, it's all over Twitter. He says some wild... I was bewildered. Let me put it like that. And I'm wildered sometimes. I go outside, I smell a spruce or a pine, but I'm not often bewildered. Amanda said, good morning, sir. Hello, chat. Glad to be back with you all. Al said, good morning. Ty said, good morning, RJ. I hope you're having a fine Sunday so far. How are you feeling? I'm feeling hot, but it's a wet heat. Like a sauna, and maybe that's good for me. Dylan said, I usually have to watch these on Sunday nights because I don't wake up in time, but they make graduations really early. And so here I am. And I guess Dylan has graduated from what I'm not sure. High school, medical school, he could have passed the bar. We have no idea, but congrats in a vague sense. Neil said, good morning. Another amazing episode of Hey EW. Hey EW. I can't even pronounce the name of my own fucking show. Hey EW, bravo. This is also a small milestone. It was our 10th episode, and I am quite frankly bewildered again that it's even lasted that long. And we have more coming out, and then after that, maybe even more, if the people demand it. Christine said, hello, RJ in chat. Austin said, good morning. Positively E said, hey, RJ in chat. Mr. Havoc said, good morning. Leo said, Arn seemed to be having a really good time. It's hard to tell. Oh, he is dry toast, but in a way that when you eat it, it'll make you a better man. Sean said, hey, yo, culties, happy Sunday. Positively E said, I'm in spats. That reminds me of the song from Cats. Bustopher Jones. He was just a fancy cat. and he had a giant spoon, and the spoon was so big that this is my problem with cats, which I'm sure I've mentioned before. If you've ever seen, I mean, the movie notwithstanding, I haven't even touched the movie. If you just deal with the stage show, you think, okay, they're cats, and the set is like a junkyard, and you're like, okay. And then there's this big giant boot in the middle of the stage. And you think, if you have a cat, you look at your cat, and if it's an adult cat, it's usually bigger than a shoe. So this boot, I mean, are they all kittens? They can't all be kittens because they're all explicitly different ages. And this boot is so gigantic that you go, are these cats? And also, is this the land of the giants? And then you see Buster Jones. He's got this big spoon he's twirling around. It's way bigger than him in a way that my cat would never have. They never have the same ratio with this spoon. Yet, it's so small compared to the boot and compared to the person that would fit that boot. So you think, okay, well, these are giants who like very small spoons. That's the subtext of cats that people don't talk about. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. Well, hi, Jessamine Duke. Jessamine Duke is here. Good hi to you. David is here, said, oh, dear. And he said deer, like the animal, because of the print. Isn't he a riot? I think of Walt Whitman. I think of Fred Leibowitz, of course, or Dorothy Parker and David. When I think of just clear linguistic wit, really good. Good morning, friends, he said. Positive. Oh my God, I'm so far behind in the chat. Queen of the Ring is here too. Jesus. Okay, let me blow through this. Positively, he said, Blair Witch lighting. Are you on the run again? I think this makes my skin look nice. I don't think you see skin this nice, a good complexion like this in the Blair Witch. Kevin Featherstone is here. Hey, kids. Hello, Papa Featherstone. David said, jackalope. What you want to do with elope is your business. Amanda said, morning, David. Ectoplasmic Warren said, hey, I caught it live. Is it mono? Leo said, fiancé is the worst word in the history of language. It's not a good, well, it's French. Mia said, morning, just finished. Hey, W, thank you. Positively E said, kale is a superfood. Kale rode the crest of that superfood business. Aaron said, kale got the same marketing team as quinoa, but I don't think quinoa willed out in the end. I think kale is still on the, I don't think it's peaked yet. But yes, definitely the same firm. Neil said, we were at a wrestling show last night. One of the wrestlers throws a bag of kale around. My point again. Rob said, are we talking about antlers or horns? I guess we're talking about antlers. I'm not quite sure of the difference. What show did you two go to who are commenting separately, even though you're together? Susie said, good morning, RJ in chat. David said he's not retired from disappointing people. However, Warrior Wrestling has already left spaces, so it's moot. Mia said, did you get a hickey or did someone bite your neck? What is up with hickeys? Why does anyone want to do that to someone? It's not even an enjoyable process to give or to receive. I'm trying to fix the lighting here for 1 second. No, I've ruined it. There we go. That's better. Lauren said, I was Kale's agent. Our relationship has since wilted. That's so much better than David's stupid deer pun. Nail said, I enjoyed your commitment to holding the musket. I mimed my ass off, and I want you to know that I also researched how to build a musket to do that correctly, thinking he would understand. I would assume he was a history buff. Certainly comes off like one. I thought he would know what that was, and he wouldn't take it. And if he's not going to take it, what am I? I'm stuck with it. I can't just go poof. Ruins the whole mime work. Spot Center said, what? Positively, he said, RJ, you missed a chance to ask him about the movie he invented, the Gourd Buster. He must have hated Gordon. Queen of the Ring said, good morning, and good morning to you. And if you are around at Twitch at 12 o'clock, Church of Joshi, I guess is on. If it's not, please correct me. But Kayla will be there, and Queen will be there. And then Queen is also up. She's on Spotify Green Room talking to hip wrestlers. Not me, but like everyone else. So that's certainly nice. Do enjoy that too. It's uncensored or unleashed or it's unsanctioned. It's unsanctioned. No one has sanctioned it. except for Spotify, of course. SM has been a member for 25 months. What a journey. New badge. I bought an RJ City shirt and a David Arquette shirt during the flash sale. Sad about not getting a snarky email. I know you're busy. So many people have bought shirts that an email is coming. There's a big list of this person bought a shirt. I'm getting through it. After this, I will get through it. And it'll be doubly snarky because you called me out. So fuck yourself in advance. David said, are bewildered beasts horned? It's a wonderful question. Is a wildebeest bewildered? It's another question. They certainly have horns, I think. Nail said, Leo, he's vegan and he often, Leo Sparrow is the kale wrestler. He often pulls out a bag of kale and throws it around. Waste of kale. Positively E said, wet heat. Humidity? A little bit. Susie said, wow, 25 months. That's amazing. Nail said, 10 episodes. Meow. Yes, I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but I said meow multiple times to Arn Anderson. Amanda said, yay, I hope it goes on forever. Happy 10 episodes. Good morning, friends. Ectoplasmic Worm said, do you think you could get Hook and Danhausen on? I would crowdfund that. Well, Ectoplasmic Worms, Danhausen was my first guest, and Hook was like my fourth guest. So they've absolutely been on. We are far ahead of you in this regard. Go back and watch. There is a playlist on the AEW channel. We'll post it about it this week. And you can watch all of them. It's very helpful to see how I grow as a person. Spot Center said, I once caught a plastic army man from a former military guy now wrestling. He only did that once. It's very dangerous. Mia said, I missed the underwear. What color are they? They're navy blue with gold deer patterns, and I'll show you later. You really missed your chance there. Leo said, what is more awful and hideous? James Corden. I should just stop reading there. James Corden or British wrestling journalist. I'm not familiar with British wrestling journalists. Here's what pops into my head when you say British wrestling journalist. Do you remember the British guy? He had like a little show and he went to WCW Power Plant and he like cut a promo. Do you remember? That's who I think of when you say British wrestling journalist. And I liked that guy. So I would almost say he's better. Marjorie said, good morning. You all down for the total eclipse of the moon tonight? No, I'm not. Holy shit. Please tell me more. Val Pancakes is here. A stack of Val for you. Positively E said, I hear Dean Malenko has pretty dry humor. I have not seen him yet. When I do, I will ask him and he will say no. Nail said, I recently heard that David can make armpits fart with a straw. He is so talented. He's like, remember they used to say Sammy Davis Jr. could do anything? Well, I think when Sammy died, his weird, oddly proportioned, gangly soul went into David. As M said, is it just me or is the jawline really popping today? It's because I lit well. Thank you. Andrea said, am I the only person who heard the spoon is too big and immediately thought of Rejected? Well, it certainly wasn't me because I don't know what you're talking about. Rob said, what is the best sitcom series finale ever and why is it Soap? Soap actually was very good, and there is a Soap episode with B. Arthur that I just read about that I need to check out. I think they go to heaven. Positively, he said, blood vessels taste great. Sure. Oh, Queen said, we're on. They're on. They're on now? No, they're on at 12. Church of Joshi and Twitch. Go enjoy. John Delaney said, you have some of the best comedic timing I've ever seen. Respect. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. Nelson, we were at Creative Pro. I don't know why they haven't booked me. I met Brandon from Barstool Wrestling and told him back off the RG City sass. He's been salty. You got the AEW gig and he didn't. Well, it wasn't up for grabs. I didn't audition for it. It's something that I come up with at the behest of the people who work there. Not really familiar with, the process of these kind of things. Nevertheless, positively, he said, Val, which fruit or vegetable would you agent? Like give a nice avocado a run at the top. The mango is so hard to peel. Otherwise, I would say, let's go all in. It's time consuming. It's delicious, but it's time consuming. The honeydew. Excellent. Why? Everyone's watermelon. Honeydew. I would like to be a proponent of the honeydew. Rob said, I like that you sold a bunch of merch. Rob, let me clarify. Also, not enough. I could sell a lot more, and you can buy it all at persontees.com/City and my Teespring site. You can also buy the coffee, rootlesscoffee.com, and you can also get a cameo. It's up to you. Somebody got for their son's birthday the other day, and they were like, do you have the on-air sign from AEW with you? And I felt bad because I don't. So maybe the AEW merchandise team could make AEW signs, and then we could all be on the air. Spot Center said, diving or jumping out of the ring. Ever been not caught? Someone went splat last night at a show I went to. I have only jumped out of the ring seriously like once. And if I did another time, I have no recollection of it. It's not something I'm interested in. The reward seems very minimal compared to the risk. I will say I think I am decent at catching people. I don't think I've missed someone, especially when it's one-on-one. When you're in a group of people trying to catch, it's almost harder because you don't know where the person's going to go. And you're like, am I going to get a foot? Am I going to get a leg? It's difficult. And then sometimes they will just miss completely. There have been situations where I've been there, I've been ready, and people have either, tripped and fallen on their own or completely missed. These things apparently happen. Not with me, though. Queen said, you're on the list for the podcast. My people will reach out. Well, I guess it's a long fucking list. Who are you getting to before? You had Jade on before me? Really? It was a good choice. It was very good. John said, who's ready for Stranger Things? F-O. What does F-O mean? I guess I'm ready for it. Is Paul Reiser in this season? This is my main question. Bassist A said, hello from Pakistan, RJ. What's your favorite moment from Ready to Rumble? Speaking of David Arquette, my favorite moment is perhaps the wonderful Kathleen Freeman, who plays, I believe, Jimmy the King's mother. And she was in a lot of delightful movies. She was also the nun in Blues Brothers. She's by far my favorite part. Rob said, is your list alphabetical, Queen? That's what I'd like to know. I can't wait for Stranger Things, said Mia. Almighty Scorpion said, the Hook episode of Hey W is riveting. Excellent television. It's not on television. SM wants to know if Nails yelled at the Cardonas. Leo said that was Louis Theroux, who is great and not a British wrestling journalist. Fuck. Nails said, I can't speak from screaming at the Cardonas. Did you tell Chelsea that she owes me? Major said, no, but I'm down for a total eclipse of the heart. John said, you're the first streamer I've ever seen go down the line reading comments. This is basically what this is, John. Nug said, tell us about your object work with a musket on the latest AEW. Well, I had the size. It was really a standard musket from the Revolutionary War. And I had pulled it behind. I had it really, if you look, you'll see my body receive it the whole time because it was alongside me, slightly behind. And then, I pulled it out and I held it up. I made sure everything was stiff and taut. And then I put it on the floor between my legs. And then I put the bayonet on it. You screw it on. And then and the whole time, and this is probably why the interview felt so off, I had the musket, the ball bullets in my pocket. And there was 2 of those, and you drop them in like that. And then you have to present it correctly. You don't want to point it at the guy and say, hey, stick him up. That's not what you want to do. And I handed it to him, and I held it. And then I kept it there still. And in many ways, it's still on that chair. And I think that's storytelling. We make movies. You shouldn't do that with coffee. Rob said his jaw is definitely chiseled. My man's been meowing it seems. I've meowed at Arn Anderson. Positively, he said, I wonder if Sammy Davis left any money to his Satan-worshipping friends. My understanding is Sammy's family, first of all, he was in tremendous amount of debt to the IRS. There was always stuff like that. He definitely spent more than he made, and he made a lot of money. I will say, what I've researched, he didn't make that much money, especially as Black performer early on. Very exploitative contracts. And he would be at the top. He'd be selling out great albums, doing movie work, doing whatever. And, the studio and his partners and his manager and shit is getting the biggest cut. He certainly did not double check and cross-reference. I don't think he read through all his contracts. He was very happy to work and continue working. And then he really had to, because you're spending that much and then you owe the companies money and then you have to work. You have to do what they tell you to do. But after that, I believe they sold everything, because you're incurring so much debt. His wife, the rumor has it, they sold all his jewelry. They took it like basically off his deathbed. Anyway, this has been a joy. Ted said, Arn didn't appreciate the musket. Thoughts? I think Arn wanted to smoke with me. He thought I was a hip, cool kid, and that's what all the kids are doing nowadays, I've heard. So I think he wanted to light one up, and maybe next time. Positively, he said, why are cantaloupes so meaty? It is meat. It's dense and wet and fascinating. Neil said, I need an on-air sign. That's brilliant. I mean, anyone can buy them. SM said, I would definitely buy a Hey W sign. All I'm going to say is this. Fucking Mark Sterling has a Hold On shirt now. It's a microphone with Hold On it, and I can't get one that says Hey. Mia said, your cameos are great, and I love my birthday one. Well, thank you. Amanda said, I need to hear you sing Anything You're Feeling. Well, that's not the name of a song. What am I feeling? Give me a minute. Okay, Amanda, give me a minute, and I'll circle back to something I like. Something I like to sing, and it will be good. I was going to sing Pennies from Heaven. It's not that good. Let me get through the comments, and I will continue to say, you have one coming. SM said, so it's not a hickey. Surely he can't use the curling iron as an excuse. There's some curls here. Marjorie said, Sammy Davis was Jewish. Get out of town. There's a scene request here too. All right, so then I will sing first and then doing. SM said, I started recently watching Mad About You. Positively said he was major. I just think he had very interesting friends in the 70s. I think RJ reviewed a movie he did with him before he split with him. What? SM, good luck with Mad About You. Mia said, we need Jade on Hey W next, please, and thank you. It's almost happened twice, and with this scheduling, we blew it twice. One was her fault, one was mine, but we're getting there. Aaron said, Paul Reiser was in the trailer, so you're in luck. Thank you. Kevin said, season 3 of The Orville will be on Hulu. What streaming platforms do you use? First of all, I saw a trailer. I had no idea that it was the third. I thought it was one season, and then they never renewed it. I had no idea. I use Netflix. I really enjoy Shudder. It's delightful. Criterion Collection had an app, and it was so good. And then I think it went out of business. And I think that the TCM one is also delightful. And, of course, the AWA network. Guard said, I'm a bit late to the party today, but hello all. Happy to be here. I'm trying to think of a song that would behoove me as something that expresses how I feel. How do I feel? This is a wonder. That's the real question. Draw long. You. Let me. I see so many songs swirling in my head. The Impossible Dream. It's too dramatic. I don't feel. Tie a Yellow Ribbon was in my head for a brief time. It's Tony Orlando. Let me think. I'm coming back to it. Positively, E said, Mojo, I think Eddie Murphy said on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee that Sammy Davis told him, worshiping God and worshiping the devil are kind of the same thing, before dropping it because Eddie made a face. Understandable. Why do I feel like RJ asks, is Paul Reiser in this for every TV show? He's coming back, baby. Morgan the Messenger Walker said, just popped in to say hello, but I didn't get home till almost 3 a.m. and I'm going to go back to sleep. Hello, Morgan. Thank you. And good night. Good night. No, I don't want to sing that either. So is it Billy Joel? Ugh. What's wrong with me? Billy Joel. One toke over the line. No, that's no good. Arn. Hats. Meow. I'm not feeling it yet. It's going to come out of me. There's a 60-second scene, so let me sing first. We can do that. Somewhere Beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sails and watches the ships that go sailing. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. It's far beyond a star, it's near beyond the moon. Dun, 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 dun. I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore. We'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. Ba-da-ba-ba. No more sailing. So long sailing. Bye-bye sailing. Au revoir sailing. Please leave me alone sailing. I'm not interested in sailing again. Stop threatening me with a sailboat. No more sailing. That was Beyond the Sea, and I did spill my coffee while I was doing that, so it all worked out. Leo has a 60-second scene request. A couple has asked you to take a photo, and you were at the height of Gildar fame, so like 2 weeks, 10 years ago. You think they want a picture with you, but they don't. This has absolutely happened to me before. And so this is the scene. I think they want to take a picture with me, but they just want me to take a picture. Thank you. No, it's good. How did you first see it? No, how did you first see the show? Usually it's kids will watch it and they'll like it and they'll tell the parents and the parents will get interested. It's really multi-layered. There's stuff there. There's but there's an adult humor and there's a little more sophistication beyond the bright colors and the slapstick. The slapstick really isn't my thing. Do you know what I'm saying? We're trying to strive for something more than your usuals, your Wipeouts, your American Gladiators, your Nickelodeon Slime, and what have you. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's there for the people who want it there. But I think for people like you, who are smarter and who demand something more for their entertainment, here I am. There, but for the grace of Dumont go I. You know what I'm saying? The medium is the message, and you're receiving the message that I am sending, and it's not medium. It's large. It's a big, fat message to say, hey, you want to be entertained, but you have a brain, and I'm here to massage it in a medium-ish manner. So thank you so much. How did you see it? My mistake. If you just squeeze in. Are we doing a 1, 2, 3, or do you want me to do my character's one? Okay, we'll just do a 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3, and then I will click. So the click will be, perhaps if a 4 was there, that's what it would be. Okay, and then, because we're also in syndication. So it's good. 1, 2, 3. Enjoyable for you. It was an enjoyable experience. And of course, if you are interested in watching the show, okay, have a nice day. And scene. I was in that for way too long. Queen said, hey, I like that mug. This mug says tiny heirloom. Home is where you park it. You know me, Queen. I love to just get out of the motor home and motor and then motor home. Neil said, I look forward to someone sitting on the musket. That maybe the next interview. Leo said, British wrestling journalists made their own wrestling promotion a few years ago and it fucking sucked. Which one was that? Because I think quite a few of them do. Spots and I said, we never got to hear Gilbert Gottfried sing the Candyman. What would that sound like? That's a legitimate request. The Candyman. Let me look up the lyrics. The Candyman Killer. Jesus. There we go. Lyrics. Candyman. Candy. I can't. It's not. You're just going to get the song. Hey, Candyman. All right, everybody, gather around. The Candyman is here. Now, what kind of candy do you want? Sweet chocolate, chocolate malted candy, gumdrops, anything you want. He seems to only have 3 kinds of candy. You've come to the right man because I'm the Candyman. Who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two. The Candyman, oh, the Candyman can. The Candyman can because he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. There's really too many words in here. Who can take a rainbow and wrap it in a sigh? Soak it in the sun and make a groovy lemon pie. Sammy definitely added the word groovy. The Candyman can. The Candyman can because he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. What an odd analogy. The Candyman makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious. Now you talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes. Who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sorrow. I went down a key. Who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream, separate the sorrow, and collect up all the cream? The Candyman, oh, the Candyman can, because he mixes it with love, makes the world taste good. Yeah, who can take tomorrow, dip it in a dream? Why would you want to do those lyrics again? The Candyman, yeah, you got the gist. Candy, man. Can't do that Gilbert voice. Who else is it? Al said Arn is part of the 420 Horsemen. Al said, yeah, some hip lingo going on there. Joe said, this has been such an uplifting point of conversation about Sammy Davis Jr. Wonderful performer. Tragic life. Amanda got the Mark Sterling shirt. Well, fuck you, Amanda. Austin said, I actually listened to Sammy Davis Jr.'s Candyman the other day. Well, what about this version? Leo said, you used to go on about Cobb salads all the time, but you don't anymore. Why is that? I felt like we had just phased it out. I would still appreciate one. I feel like we made the point. And it was a long bit, and I feel like it had a shelf life, and it ended. Chelsea, on the other hand, is not a bit. The woman actually owes me $10. Ty says, it's been taking a while. It's been a while since you sang they're playing our song. I should have fucking sang that. Fuck, I haven't sung that in a while. I would love to sing that. Amanda said, I also got a David shirt. Wrestling's not fake. Yeah, because good for you supporting David's wrestling career. And Nail said, Leo, I feel there's some kind of underlying trauma with the British wrestling YouTube folking yourself that keeps bubbling to the surface. Leo said, Edge cut his long hair for a hairstyle appropriate for a man 30 years younger. Will you do the same thing? I'm going to get a nice, tasteful bob. Something right there I think would look. And then I'd really be a spooky heel. SM said, your notes for the Arn Anderson episode have paragraphs on it. What is on there? Maybe that's something that I will drop for the members, a picture of my notes. Those notes, I hold my notes I have for everyone. I think there's over 40 pages that I was holding. There's even more now because we have a certain, obviously we tape multiple episodes in one day, usually 4. But sometimes you're not sure who you're going to get. So I have everything prepared just in case. Oh, Jade's down the hall. She's got a minute. Do you want to do this? Sure. And then I would have to show a lot. Having said that, I had legitimate information. My information was factually correct on Arn Anderson. Also, I did say you wrestled at the time as Jim Veritoso, and he corrected me and said Jim Verderosa. However, I went back and looked because I'm angry about it. And I did find where he was announced as Jim Veritoso, and that was where I heard it. But then I said Jim Verderosa. He's also full of shit because he said he only wrestled one match as Jim Verderosa, and I found at least one more. So he's incorrect in that regard. Rob said, did you ever email that Chicago Film Museum to see if they had the episode with the Mike Douglas you wanted to see with Jerry Lewis and Andre? Yes, I did, and no, they don't. Boomini is here. Good morning, all. And if you want to crunch some bones, and I don't mean in the wing sense. If you want an action figure, get Blue Meanie's variety of action figures and listen to his Mind of Meanie podcast, because he has a mind and it's churning and it's blue. Leo said, I don't like them because I am British and I've met so many people like them who creep me out. There was a guy I worked with who liked wrestling who was so much like them. Maybe do you like wrestling? You can say. If you don't, it's fine. Leo loves this song. Perfectly executed choice of song. Thank you. Joe said, I never expected to be much of a fan of your content as I've become. I love it. Thank you, Joe. You're not the first person who has said that. Somebody messaged me and said, at first I didn't understand, and now I understand. And I wanted to say, can you fucking explain it to me? Spotcenter said, I bought a Keep It Player shirt last night supporting Rise Grand Champion PB Smooth. Oh, I love him. He's delightful. And moist lips. I'm not exactly sure how to keep it player, though. Any tips? Yeah, you're supposed to lie it on a table and play backgammon on it. Leo said, what's your favorite soda? Are you a root beer guy? Root beer I would probably have like once every 5 years. I enjoyed, when I was a kid, the gold can Coke, which I believe is only in the States. Caffeine-free, sugar-free. There's like nothing in it. Just carbonated and a little fake sugar. That lasted me. I really enjoyed that. I had dalliances with Fruitopia for a time. I don't know if you consider that soda, but still. Sean said, RJ loves that So Long Sailing bit. Because I've heard, if you've listened to some more Bobby Darin, there's multiple live versions. And he will continue doing that. And then I thought, well, this is fun. Leo said, so passionate about Splat-A-Lot. Well, thank you. Rob said, Splat-A-Lot was a lot more meaningful than I realized. I have Google alerts for Splat-A-Lot. So sometimes I'll get weird emails. We were in some British tabloid paper. It was like 10 wacky kids shows you don't remember. I was like, why don't you punch me in the fucking face? Guard said, stop threatening me with the sailboat. Really got me. That was incredible. Thank you. Neil said, I can feel the cringe. Splat-A-Lot had an important cultural impact, I guess. I mean, it's in syndication still because I think it was made so cheaply. I'm certainly not seeing the money. Christine said, Marshall McLuhan reference. Major said, Ride Like the Wind by Christopher Cross. I don't think that would be a good one to sing live. I think that's when you need that. You need, Oh, Leo said WCPW. Yes, now I remember. Rob said, did you pick Hey Guess, or is it just whoever is there and willing at the time? Has anyone refused? So far, everyone has said yes. Like, when I go in is not up to me. So you have to get a list of people who are going to be there when I'm going to be there. And then you pick from that if they're interested. So far, I don't think anyone has said no. And even there are people who have said yes, and we just haven't gotten to them yet, like scheduling. They haven't been there when I'm there. And now I feel like the more we do, the more people will continue to say yes. There's people that I've purposely waited on because I want it to be established first so they see what it is. And it's like, oh, this person has done it. It's like, Arn has done it. So what's like another older wrestler going to say? It's like, well, what do you think? You better than Arn Anderson? Tony did the second episode. Like, what the hell? So yeah, it's going to be the next few episodes are an eclectic mix of people. And they always seem to get weirder. I can't understand why. But yes, I would like to get through as many people as possible. Leo said, want to see Jim Ross on AEW. Let me tell you something. That's an example of a person who I have yet to ask. And I'm like, let me get a few out there first and say, this is what it is. His interview is written and it is ready to go. And if he walked in here right now, I would be ready for him. So he's very much on the list. Did you see the video of the fan headbutt? Of a fan headbutt the wrestler over the guardrail last night. Anyone ever get physical with you? No one got physical, like having a fight, but I remember once, and it was relatively very, very new, and I was on the outside, and someone spit at me and hit me in the face. And when you get hit with spit, you immediately know what it is. And I looked, because I was really angry, and it was a kid. And you're like, well, now what am I going to do? Hit a kid? And what am I going to do? Even yell at a kid? It's also his parent was next to him and like laughing. And I'm like, you guys are fucked. Like, you guys have bigger problems than what just happened right now. So I'm going to back up and let you on your way. And good luck with that. And then people throwing beer at me, but I always thought that was like part of the fun. Like I never thought, this is crossed the line. So, and I also think people don't fight me because I don't attempt to fight anyone else either. Leo said they used to make us sing Candyman at school, and Leo, of course, went to Sammy Davis Jr. Collegiate. SM said, my sister's coworker has a stalker who steals her underwear. What the fuck? She walked in on him in her kitchen. He said he'd been watching her sleeping. Police haven't caught him yet, still stalking her. Well, that is fucking horrifying. And I hope they do, or she moves or gets some protection or some shit. That is fucking insane. Ugh. Amanda said, fuck you too, RJ. Bring back the retired shirts so I can buy them all. Absolutely not. Leo said, you should get a bob. You would look like Dua Lipa. And that's popular because kids like her. SM said he apparently did the same to another woman a few weeks ago and hurt her. He did try grabbing this woman. She got away. Yeah, this person definitely needs to be arrested. And now, for the segue of the year, Christine has a song request. Please sing They're Playing Our Song, and thank you for brightening my dull morning. Oh, they're playing a song. Oh, yes, they're playing my song. And when they're playing my song, everybody better shh, shh, shh. Don't say a word now. Listen to that sweet melody. I'm happy to say in my own humble way, every perfect note of that was written by me. Oh, yes, they're playing my tune. Too bad it's ending so soon. The couple half at the door has come back to hear more of my music. At first, I thought this place was a dive. I chose it in haste, but they got taste. As long as they're playing my song. Who would have known that 9 months ago I would give birth at my piano? In all honesty, I've got to admit, I knew this song would be an international hit. Oh, they're playing the tune. Too bad it's ending so soon. But then I guess when I go, I hope that they'll be playing. Oh, God, I'm praying. They'll be playing my song. That was enjoyable, and I needed that. So, Christine, thank you. Nell said, if they just bring guests on you, I wonder if you'll ever get someone who stumps you and you know nothing about them. Some people, I'm like, oh, I have to look like, obviously, younger wrestlers is just less online. Arn Anderson had so much stuff to choose from, and I always write more than we need, and then I'll pick what should go. So, younger people will like, but then it takes a little bit of research. I get there, and you don't want to also like, I don't know. I think the next episode is a hip young talent that you're really going to enjoy. Joe said, you and Chelsea are like the paperboy and John Cusack from Better Off Dead. You need a shirt that says, I want my $10. No, she just needs to give me the fucking money. Then I wouldn't need to bother with any of that. David said, I've always wondered what kind of freak would drink Coke with no caffeine. And now I know. That's why your sleeping pattern is off. Because you're up on that high caffeine soda. Leo said, do you know Hacker T Dog? Yeah, hold on. Where did I miss this? Presented CBC. Yes, because he follows me. He was replaced by Oucho T Cactus, who was a better puppet in my view. I'm not familiar with Oucho T Cactus. I will look it up. I love Hacker. I thought he was hilarious. I saw he did a wrestling thing. I just think he's very funny. And he was very nice to me. So I would always want to work with him and Dick and Dom, which I get to work with, is just delightful. But yes, it was an honor. Leo said, hey, W with Shad Khan. I'm in. Positively, he said, better be careful with Jim Ross. He's a sassy one. Queen said, yes, hit the kid with manners. Spot Center said, there's a video of a wrestler spitting on a kid and the dad tackles him. Fair game. He got physical. When you get physical, when you initiate the physicality, Nell said, I would scratch a spitting kid's mom's eyes out and tell the kid you did this. David said, I made a kid cry once at NEW and I couldn't keep up the heel persona. I think that's because he just saw C-Spot run. Positively E said, I ain't throwing a $9 beer at any wrestler. And that's where you go, this is an honor. He spent that money on hitting me. Guard said, I've had people spit at me and throw food at me also, and I wasn't even wrestling. Pre-pandemic. Now it's like blasphemous. Marjorie said, Jim Ross and undies, that's EW. David said, I got spit on too several times. It's infuriating. And that was just outside of a bar. Mole said, howdy, RJ Cowpoke. Sean said, oh, I love this. See, everyone loves, that's really my song. They're playing our song as my song. Mole Jam said, incredible singing. Mia said, two things I hate at wrestling is spit and lots of sweat. Well, the spit is, I guess voluntary. The sweat is very, very hard to control. Get some fans. 60-second scene by Leo. You're cutting a heel promo at a 65-plus senior attendee-only wrestling show. Someone throws a bit of pooey toilet paper at you. So good to see you all here. Good thing you're still alive. I guess the dress code was beige. When was the last time you guys tied any of your shoes, or is it just all Velcro now? I was going to come to the ring with that cane, and then I figured I would just take one of yours. That's what I thought. Okay, nurse. We need to have a little talk. That gentleman there in the front row, he threw some toilet paper at me, and there was some residue on it. And I don't know if he got it from the bathroom and kept it and it was his, or it's just, would you have it tested, please? And I want to make sure he's regular. Because if he's suffering from any sort of IBS, I worry about him. I know this is a show, sir, but if this is a cry for help, I want you to know it's on its way. They're going to test it. If it's yours, you're going to get looked after. You're going to really enjoy it. Okay, everyone, I'm going to start with some light chain, then we'll move into some striking and maybe a hip toss or two, okay? We now take you to a wrestling match at a wrestling show. Good luck, sir. End scene. SM said, dramatic reading of the Man About You theme song. Tell me why you love me like you do. Tell me who could stop my heart as much as you. Tell me all your secrets, and I'll tell you most of mine. They say nobody's perfect, and it's really true this time. I don't have an answer. I don't have a plan. All I have is you. So help me understand what we do. You can whisper in my ear where we go. Who knows what happens after here? Just take me by the hand and let's jump into the final frontier. Mad about you, baby. And scene. That was a dramatic reading of the theme from Mad About You. Rob said, who the fuck goes to someone's head that makes them think, yeah, let me spit on this person. That's a good idea. Neanderthals, basically. David said, I said I'm not thinking right. I had just been pile driven. That's fair. Leo said, Hacker is good, but Alksha was just so good. Spitting on someone's rude and disrespectful. Thank you. Spot Center said, Droopy Dog or Muttley? Droopy Dog. Nail said, Karma got Chelsea last night. Her top broke. Ugh. And she had to wrestle with one hand holding her boob during the big moves. Joke's on her for even doing big moves. I don't have to hold either of my breasts because I don't do anything big. So I don't have to desperately work for people's approval. You ought to be ashamed of herself. Mia said, Chelsea is always having issues with her top. You know, change the measurements. Let a little out there. Enjoy yourself. Or tape them like dancers do. Happy belated birthday to Matt Cardona also. Mia said, wasting bathroom tissue is also a crime. Nail said, no need to look up these lyrics. I just instantly went right into it. SM said, he did the thing. Yes, I did. Amanda said, I need more dramatic readings. I was just thinking about that. I was like, I did those dramatic readings, and I was like, I really kind of ran out of, like, worth it theme songs for that. Nails turned the tables on Matt Cardona and wished him a crappy birthday. Got him. I spoke to him yesterday, mainly about Disney, and he seemed to be really, really happy about Disney. A lot of immature interests. And I'm sure he had a nice honeymoon, and I'm sure it was very, very expensive. SM said, fuck the Cardonas. I mean, I'm sure they do, but I think you mean in a general sense there. Leo said, heard you're going to be in the new Agent Cody Banks 3 movie, and I'm so excited. I'm playing an evil I'm head of like Megacorp or something, and we're trying to take over something else. A lot of my building is all different shades of gray. Amanda said, I have and I need more. She's talking about the theme songs. Nail said, you could do dramatic readings of the obscure sitcom intros you recently found. I don't even know if those lyrics are online. And I think I should do more sitcom intro reactions because I'm learning a lot about life. Nikki said, Nails, with you on that one. Crappy birthday, Cardona. Yeah, like that, I guess you would say. And now I'm demonetized. Spot Center said, Mia, you would hate Moominshans. I loved Moominshans. If you want to see art, you watch Moominshan's guest on The Muppet Show. That was a great shit. Nail said the sitcom reactions are brilliant. I learned so much about them. Rob said, are you actually besties with the Cardonas? And here's us with them firmly on our crosshairs at every opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I certainly Matt, Chelsea, we have a strained relationship. They don't seem to book me for anything. They just get me to do videos for free, which I think is kind of shitty. Nevertheless, I think he's a decent person. He's trying his best. Joe said, what are the chances we get a Ready to Rumble 2 with David, Scott, and you? Absolutely not. You're not getting me, and you're not getting Scott. You might get the other guy. I don't think you're going to get that movie made. I don't know why. People didn't like it when it came out. Why would they want more of it? See, Star Wars had a sequel because the first one people enjoyed, and it did well at the box office. Do you understand what I'm saying? I see Blockbuster Gold possibly doubling or tripling the box office of the first. Even then, they still would be disappointed. That would be a very low return. Leo said, did you have a crush on the mother from Malcolm in the Middle? I can't. Her head is in my face. And I can't. Jane. And I'm going to say Krasinski, but that's not it. Shit. It's so close to that. It's not Jane Krasinski. That's not. Jane Krakowski is also not it either. But it's a name like that. Someone's going to type it in momentarily, so I won't feel so bad about it. She was nice. She was an Allison Janney-ish. Jane Kaczmarek. Thank you, Christine. I was just watching the puzzle. You said Jane Goodall. No. She was in the middle, but it's a monkey in the middle. I don't know. I wouldn't say I had a crush on her. I'm sure she's a nice gal. Neil said you should try to find some pilot episodes to react to or review. The problem with the pilot episodes is the resolution is usually just blur for 20 minutes. Men said, any plan for guests in their undies with you? I'd love David and Dalton again. I haven't seen them in so long. But maybe. I mean, my travels will take me some places, and there will be people in their underwear. I don't see why not. Rob said, if Arn Anderson is the best wrestler alphabetically, does that make you the 18th or 3rd best wrestler? Well, I guess I would go by last name. So I think I would be the 3rd. Neil said, if Creative Pro or FWF book you, do you want to wrestle? Well, if they book me to, and if they would pay me to, I think I would be interested. So ask them. Spot Center says, Sheriff Lobo or Roscoe P. Coltrane? You always defer to someone named Roscoe. End of story. Mia said, what sitcom would you like to be on if you had a chance? I would have loved to have been on Alf. I just really wanted to see how the magic happened. Austin said, Lois from Malcolm in the Middle is one of my favorite TV moms. She's such a hothead. She did a lot of yelling. That was a yelling era. Mia said, if you had a chance to go on another game show, which one would you choose? Definitely Match Game. I want to bump Mario from the Charles Nelson Riley chair. He can be in the Brett chair. I want that spot. That's the one I'm gunning for. I wouldn't obviously win any money because I would be on the wrong side, but nevertheless. SM said, I have 2 weeks left of work, and my tolerance for my boss and coworkers is dwindling. Oh, come on, SM, pull yourself together. It's 2 more weeks. You can fake it. I've been faking it this long. Maria said, we need RJ on The Price is Right. Yeah, seems like a lot of work. It's a game of chance just to be selected. Spot Center said, have you privately done the Jeff Hardy dance? No, I have not. It's one dance I can tell you I haven't done. Rob said, big moves Chelsea versus do the move City. I do the moves, but they're not that big. That's why you do them. They're manageable. Nail said, RJ versus Chelsea. Sell it once and for all. Bring a pin and just pluck at a thread on her cheaply made top, and she will have to fight you with one hand. Easy match, debt paid. How is the debt paid? She has to just pay the debt. I don't care the status of her top. She said, give me the money. Maria said, please non-privately do the Jeff Hardy dance. Absolutely not. Nell said, Rob, that's brilliant. Queen said, no whammies. And of course, she's talking about press your luck. And what sucks, I think, about playing press your luck is that you don't get to see the animations on screen fucking your shit up. You just go, oh, whammy, whammy, whammy. Okay, SM said, do the Jeff Hardy dance, please. Jeff. That was the Jeff Hardy dance. Hope you enjoy it. Neil said she has to pay at the end. That's the stipulation. The stipulation was already that she has to pay me. Why do I need to beat her for her? That's admitting that like my stipulation does not hold, that her word means nothing. It means in something, you know. Rob said that's the Danhausen Hardy dance. I believe you have to put Hausen at the end. I believe it's a suffix, so I believe that's a Hardy Hausen dance. SM is laughing. Major FOMO is laughing. We're all having a good time. He should jazz it up a little. Maybe I'll tell him that. Rob said make the match at Double or Nothing. Spot Center said, will you go toy shopping with Ethan Page? And what's the toy you're looking for? Well, sure, I would go. I certainly haven't been invited. I would like Amigo George Wendt. They have a Norm from Cheers. I would like one of those. I think it'd be really good. There was a Battle Mania that I haven't found yet. I would like to find, they have nice Twilight Zone action figures that are all grayscale. There's a bunch that I'm sure like no one else is in that section. Kevin said, Jazz Hands Hardy. Jazz Hardy. The flick of the wrist, I'm dying. Rob said, if you win $20, if you win is 20, if she wins, all debts are canceled. That's bullshit. She's in debt. She has to pay. That's it. There's no way. You can't add stipulations to this shit. The Notorious Gavs. What are you and David getting a run in AEW? Maybe feuding with you and Peter Avalon. David should not get a run. He should not get a jog. He should not get a sprint. He should not get a walk. He can show up. I mean, if I'm in Vegas and he's around, if he wants to go to bed, it's a bad idea. He's in Vegas. It's a horrible idea. Nikki said Ethan Page finds a lot of Golden Girls merch and some of the weirder choices. I feel like they're all bootleg, though. Rambling said, hey, love nuggets. Good for you. Neil said, oh, God, we must tell Ethan to invite him before another grievance builds up. You've just settled the last one, that's for sure. And then he ended that show. You settled the grievance. He has nothing. There's no objective anymore. SM said, if you went on a toy hunt, you could talk about your limited edition Undertaker casket. I would like to find that again. Rob said, yeah, she has to pay. But how's that working out for you so far? How's it working out for her? Everyone knows that she's a lying, miserable person. Rob Shuttleworth said, I'm disappointed. I thought for sure you'd be wearing your mauve beret today. Only on certain occasions. Queen said, I used to be the head of the merch department at a comic book toy shop in New York City, and we had a lot of Twilight Zone figures and shirts, and I guess they still do, because I can't imagine that many people were buying them. Carrie fucking Silken, last stop, Penn Station. I honored myself with the amazing 70s, 80s films, One Hardcore with George C. Scott, Midnight Cowboy, the best, with Dustin Hoffman and John Voight, as well as Cruisin' with Al Pacino. Great scenes of old Times Square. There's I think there's a documentary on 70s New York. If you want to hear more about New York in the 70s and 80s, Carrie Silken's podcast, Last Stop, Penn Station, is your guy. And I'm around and he's around and Ring of Honor's around. So I have to run into him soon. You know, said David should get a wonderful run in AEW. He was great and he deserved it. He blew it. And I will tell you why months from now. Mia said, don't forget to like the radio. Spot said, I saw Line of Witch in the Wardrobe match. And the wardrobe was like an upright casket match. I would watch that. Carrie said, Cruisin' is criminally underrated. Nobody talks about it. Well, Pacino did, I think, Bobby Deerfield after it. So what are you going to do? SM said, how do we feel about graduations? I fucking hate them. I'm being forced to attend one in a couple weeks. I went to mine, and then you skip out early. I think something might happen to my car on the way. Go late, stay in the back, and then go home early, and you'll be fine. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your achievements. That's what this is all about today. Leo said, Remember when Nightmare Before Christmas shirts were weirdly popular in the mid 2000s? Yes, and not with the target demographic of the movie. David Arquette versus CM Punk, the Battle of the Graybeards. Yeah, can't wait to see that. And Carrie just said, yeah. Mia said, thank you guys for a great Sunday morning. Rambling said they had a boxing match in a phone booth. Jesus. SM said, it's not my graduation. Oh, then fuck it. Don't go. Last up, Penn Station said, I hail you as a great man. And I hail you back, Carrie, as a pip and a hoot and a delight. Last top, Penn Station, Mind of Meanie, unsanctioned on Spotify Green Room, Church of Joshi. What else? Hey W with Arn Anderson. Go watch and share and like it and enjoy as you would do this. Maybe I'll get some merch or maybe I'll get JR. Who knows? In the meantime, let's get a final look at this underwear with a hip deer pattern in honor of Bobby Deerfield, I guess. Isn't that sweet? I guess, well, this is a creepy shot. Goodbye. Godspeed and God bless. I forgot what I usually say. It's okay. We're done now. It's fine. It's totally